Hey guys, Loma02, currently getting ready to play a 100 card singleton match against player Dots. We are in the CSM right now, and this hand's a keep, not a phenomenal. I'm going to play out my tapped land. Could get wastelanded, that's fine here. Okay, 4-color blood, cool. Alright, a mana dork, cool. Well, would have rather had a blue card, that would have been much better here. I'm going to play out the Scalding Tarn, and look to get probably Underground Sea. And, well, we may be in trouble here. Oh, he's out of land. Well, this is not bad for us then. The unfortunate part about this deck is it's going to have a tough time punishing a slower draw. Well, not a land, or not a spell we can cast. So I think what we do here is hope he continues to miss. I'm going to get rid of these lands, although I do have Brainstorm in the deck, so this could be poor. And then we are going to Liliana him. He can kill the Liliana on the backswing, but he has to attack with his elves at that point. And I think he wants to keep the Sylvan Caryatid. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, he can cast whatever he likes. We're still kind of hoping he misses on land this turn. I mean, obviously the game will be better if he does not, but I think he is probably advantaged in this matchup. Okay, a Lotus, a Cobra. Well, he's got mana. Now we have to kind of hope for, like, I don't know, a Toxic Deluge would be good here. I don't mind discarding one of the basics out of hand. Can he cast another 2-drop or a 3-drop? Well, it looks like he has another 3-drop. So that's pretty good. Okay. Like I said, I think he is probably advantaged in this matchup with his 4-color deck. A lot more creatures, much more aggressive. Okay, well, that's not good for us. Of note, though, we have drawn quite poorly. Well, that's interesting. I think we're going to discard a card. I think Island is what we will discard here. Well, it's quite strong. This draw has worked out very, very well for him. And it's unfortunate. But yeah, it's probably going to be the end of us, I think, here. Drew out quite well for him. So we have a 4-4. He does, unfortunately, as well. We cannot save the Liliana. We have a Wasteland in hand. Yeah, so here's what we need to do. We need to draw Damnation or Toxic Deluge. That's it. Those are pretty much the only cards we can draw here. I expect that he will attack with his Luxodon Smiter. We will likely block it. Because, like I said, my only path to victory at this point, I believe, is drawing a Wrath effect. Although if we do, we could be in a very, very good spot. We'd still have to contend with Lingering Souls, unless he casts them out this turn. Should be very aggressive of him. I think you leave him in hand, because I think he knows what he probably loses to as well. Could have a Maelstrom Pulse just knocking... Well, what do we have here? I would assume it's probably some sort of creature, but I don't know this. Okay, a Liliana. Well, I can no longer block successfully the Luxodon Smiter. My Liliana was dead either way. I can, however, block the Lotus Cobra out. Okie doke. Well, he's hanging back. Well, that is not a horrendous one. I think what we do here is knock out his land. And we probably go for this. What do I leave in there? There's no point in not tapping out, so I think I just leave... Yeah, I'm going to leave the Liliana in there. It's a Planeswalker. It is harder to get in the graveyard. Well, this is not bad. I don't think it gets me out of this situation. The force has been quite dead all game, unfortunately. But hopefully we can constrain him on mana. He can still recast the Lingering Souls. And I think Toxic Deluge is still my best draw here. Okay, Voice of Resurgence. Well, if we draw the Toxic Deluge and he recasts the Lingering Souls here, then I think we're in an okay spot. This draw has generally worked out pretty well for him, though. I wouldn't be... Okay, he's going to leave it untapped. Interesting. He may just have a removal, or he may have like a Path to Exile plus recast the Lingering Souls. Okay, Vindicate. Very good. Okay, well, we'll take our 6. We're kind of hedged into doing that. Well, that is all but one draw. Yeah, I think all but one draw has been a land, so that, well, it tends not to be good. We'll hang back. We're not the aggro here, that's for sure. I guess I shouldn't F6 through. I'll turn off the auto yields. Get at least Force of Will something. I don't know how much relevance it's going to bear. But, hey, why not? Although relatively soon I am going to be forced to attack that Liliana, the last hope. Yep. Still think we take it here. Down to 10. Are we going to counter this? It actually depends on what it is. That thing? Do I counter that? Honestly, I don't think I do. And the reason is because, like, I mean, if he finds a land, he finds a land. Yeah, he finds a land. But here, honestly, the life total is not relevant. And he could actually recast his Lingering Souls here. And actually, I'm happy if he does that, although I'm still going to have to contend with the with the manland on top of his deck. If I draw, you know, okay, well that's something. No, but we will do this here. I think we just get rid of this. That allows us to block. We're going to take lethal damage next turn. Is what it looks like. So we've lost. But again, our draw was pretty miserable this game. And I do think this is an ill-favored matchup for us. Okay. So what are our key cards in this matchup? Our key cards are Damnation. Okay, well, that's strong. So your last card is the Manland? Okay. You won. Our key cards in this matchup are going to be Damnation and Toxic Deluge, I think. Yep, you got us, man. I think he had us regardless, but no need to block here. I'm just considering my board plan right now. Buying time to do that. Okay, so we lose round 1, or match 1. Or rather, game 1. I can't even talk today. What do we think? I kind of do like Massacre, I think, in this matchup. He's going to probably have a Plains. It gets a lot of his mana dorks. We'll put it in. Dreaded Knight I don't think is good enough. I do think this is good enough. I do think this is good enough. I kind of do like the Dark Blast as well, although I don't know if that is good enough. Flash Freeze probably is. Bribery? Maybe. I don't know on Bribery. So let's consider the remainder of the deck. What do we want to take out? Vendilion Click I don't think is going to be great here. I do kind of like the Bitter Blossom. I like the removal effects. I think Duress is going to be fine. I also think like the Negate and the Counter Squall will be fine because he does run a significant amount of Planeswalker threats. Maybe it's just this. Maybe it's too... Well, it does kind of go over the top of it, though. I have to live to that point, though. So I need to remove 3 cards. I do like the Liliana, although it did not do quite enough there. The Lingering Souls, obviously a heck of a card. Staple in many... Well, staple in really just like modern. I mean, when it was in Standard, it was a staple in Standard. I think it may be boarded and played in some decks like Esper Blade and Legacy. Obviously not a vintage staple, but very strong card, so that one was a beating, too. Not to mention flipping a card out of his hand into the board with Liliana was just... that was pretty rough. Pretty rough. What do I think of like Reclamation Sage? Do I really need that? I don't think I need that in this matchup. I don't think he's probably running a Batterskull. And if he is, we can at least make enough or have enough removal on it that we take care of it that way, or we can use enough removal to buy tempo. What else do I think needs to come out? Maybe the Sylvan Library is just not fast enough. Yeah, let's try taking it out. The card is kind of slow. It's a complete investment card. And maybe like the 1 Counter Squall. Like, although I did say they were okay, I don't think they're the best. Sundroplet seems too slow here. It's really hard against like the Red Deck Wins matchup, and I kind of like Dark Blast too. Although I'm not quite sure on it. Is Dark Blast good enough? I think, I don't think it's quite good enough here. So, what will we cut? I think we will end up cutting the Negate. Oh. Alrighty. Well, if Moto works. Okay, this hand is a keeper. I'm inclined turn 1. Well, there is one problem with it. I don't really want to burn. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the birds out. But I don't really want to burn the... I really don't want to burn the fetch land there, because I want to be able to use it with Brainstorm, but I think the speed that this offers me, plus the 1 scry I can get off the Temple, and the ability to leave up Counterspell while I scry with Temple is of benefit. If he has a Bolt, well, he does not. Well, not a phenomenal draw. I am going to play this down and see what is on the top of my deck. I think I'm actually going to bottom that. That could be wrong. Leave the bird up to cast the Counterspell. If it's a Mana Dork, I may actually counter it. I think the most dangerous mana in this deck is the green mana right there. That's what I tend to believe about it. And what are we going to see? Funny enough, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to counter this. I am going to take a look at what is on the top of my library. And, okie doke. Go ahead. You can play that out. I don't mind those cards. I am going to play this out and pass it back. Cryptic Command should be nice here. It means I should have a Batterskull next turn, although it is going to be unprotected. So, if he has like a Reclamation Sage in hand, then we could just Begotten, or Kasali Pridemage, or Maelstrom Pulse, or Vindicate. So those are the 4 cards that readily come to mind for removal for it. Don't know if he's playing the new like Duretti Iconoclast, whatever it is. What do you do here? Okay, so I think what we're going to do is this. This is actually... I'm going to counter this. Here's what I'm going to do. This is a tempo play, and it's interesting. I'm going to return the elf. He may have land, or he's going to replay it with his own mana. That's fine with me, as long as he doesn't have another land, is what I'm thinking. And if he does, well, oops. He'll replay his elf. That's fine. But I want the time here. I don't want him to use his mana to play another mana dork. And I know what my top card is. I'm fine with this. The question becomes, do you have an immediate answer to it? If he doesn't have an immediate answer to it, I feel very secure in this game. Although if he does, then we're kind of back to square one. I think it is worth the risk, though. Like I said, if he has a Reclamation Sage, Vindicate, Maelstrom Pulse, or any of those cards, or a Kasali Pride Mage, he'll just get us here, and that's going to stink. If he does not, then I think we can grind him out with the Batterskull and Counterspell in hand. Well, the question becomes, do you have the answer, good sir? Okay, no, he does not. That's a very strong card, though. Well, Mental Misstep, not a phenomenal one. We're just going to play our tapped land out. And the cool thing about the birds is we can actually equip the birds. And why it's relevant is because it's a flyer. So, what do you have? He does have the Knight, which is a pain. It means he can go up on mana. I think we will counter that. And I think we will counter that too. And he can get another land now. It'd be pretty brutal if he had, like, a Swords to Plowshare. I guess it wouldn't be that bad. It'd be fine. This does, however, reduce his ability to draw lands as well, which is kind of nice. I don't know if it's, like, that relevant, but could even see him get a fetch land. Yep. Just to build up the Knight. If he does nothing else to the board, though, I don't feel like Knight of the Reliquary is going to outrace the Skull. Alright, birds. Cool. Well, not a horrendous one there. No. But I wouldn't mind drawing another threat at this point. That is the one problem that I said in the beginning we have with this matchup. Even if we drew a Wrath right now, it would not be horrendous. What's the worst for us here? A Planeswalker threat is most certainly the worst for us. It's getting to a point where he may need to block relatively soon. Although I can keep up the Flash Freeze while I equip the Birds of Paradise, if his intent was to block with the Knight. Although on 3 cards in hand, I assume he has some good stuff. My hope is that it is green and or red. And it looks by the way he tapped there, it likely is. He could definitely get in for 5 here, but like I said, I don't foresee him being able to effectively race us. Oh, this is a big green card, a Garruk. No thank you, sir. No thank you at all. Well, that was a horrendous draw. Well, we're just going to equip the birds. And actually, we probably should have played our land out first. Not only should we have, we definitely should have. Because this does allow us to return the Batterskull if the birds are to be killed here. Could get a reach land. Okay. And we're not doing well. This is definitely not a matchup that we like to see. So we can't really punish it. The mana base is where you punish decks like this. Although, if he does have like a Path to Exile or a Swords to Plowshares, I think he likely misplayed this. My guess would be Path to Exile. Okay. Well, we're going to fetch another land, and I think it is going to be a Bayou. And we'll return the Batterskull for mana efficiency. If he has discard, well, that's a beating. Yep. And what do we get here? Suppose it doesn't really matter all that much. Probably just the snow covered. And I do not feel very good at this point. He's got 8 power in play, 26 life. Yeah, it's not looking great, guys. His likelihood of drawing gas is going to be higher because he's filtered his draw out with the Knight. Choke, well, that's also pretty bad. Although, I don't think of that as being a great board card. Well, now it is pretty much draw Damnation or bust. He doesn't really have a lot going on. I suppose I would be appeased with a Toxic Deluge as well. Probably going to blow up one of my lands, so it will have to be a Toxic Deluge. And we are lamenting getting that snow-covered island now. That's quite bad. Well, suppose we pass it back. What did you draw for the turn, good sir? Yep. And I think here, yep, we're just going to cycle this. Well, Maelstrom Pulse. The question becomes, Pulse. Interesting. Well, I think what we have to do is this. I think we have to blow this thing up. He can cast darn near anything in his deck, but I have the Ponder for next turn, and then I have to Hope Demise to get rid of the choke. Don't feel good about this. It's 2 damage, but we're 12, so we got a little bit of time. Well, that is not a bad one. I think we leave it up to block one of his attackers. And I suppose we will target the Mental Misstep. And I think we block the elves here. Well, I guess we don't get the chance to. Looks like he's going to remove it with a Fatal Push. Okay, well, it's gone. Well, let's ponder here. I like that. Well, we should kill this, I think. I mean, we're going to lose this anyways. Pernicious Deed next turn, though, should not be horrendous. And get the, that thing. And if, there's 1 here. Well, your go at it. I have nothing else I can do here. Can attack for 1. Do you have an answer? No, you do not. I think we just do this now to limit him on mana. So that gets all of his permanents. That was actually a very, very strong draw. I have a Green Sun Zenith that can actually get a Titan. Although I expect he probably has removal in hand. Yeah, for Primeval Titan, I suppose. A Thrun is interesting as well, but I think it's Primeval Titan here. If I left it in the deck. I did not, unfortunately. No, I did. Okay, cool. Well, Primeval Titan. 2-man lands, please. Not a game I expected to come back from. And I think we just get the Creeping Tar Pit and the Lumbering Falls. Start presenting threats as fast as we can. Gotta have answer plus threat here. Nice. That was not a game I expected to win, guys. So sorry if I sounded like a negative Nancy. Really, this is not a match I expect to win, to be frank. So it was kind of cool to win there. Although, and I will be fair to Dots, he did draw quite poorly, allowing us to kind of navigate our way out of the chokehold that he had us in, no pun intended. Good game. We'll see how this last one goes. He could just run us over. Well, the other thing is his deck could just run into, mana trouble, so it is a 4-color deck. I don't hope for that, but we will see. Well, I'm not in love with it, guys. I'm going to keep on the draw. This could go horribly awry. The biggest rationalization to keep this is because it has Damnation in it. And it also has True Name Nemesis, which should be relatively difficult for him to deal with. So, we'll see. He kept 7, which means that we very well could get run over. Mana Elf? Yep, okay. Well, we're kind of hoping here. That was a good draw. We're going to play that out here. I know it is eschewing value of Wasteland. If he has Wasteland, that's really horrible for us. Really, we just need to draw lands with this hand. If we do, we could do well. We do have the ability to cast. So Marsh Flats is going to get Underground Sea. Nothing else. Interesting. Okay, well, he does have something else. Is it another creature? I would assume it is. I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable when I can keep up Negate. Okay, well, we'll see what happens here, guys. I'm going to play the tapped land out, just in case he is sporting a Wasteland. Of note, I do not think I'm going to play out the True Name Nemesis, although maybe I should. This hand could just go mono aggro on him. Okay, more land. Yep, there's the Planeswalker. That is the card that we're going to get. I mean, he could have many of them, but I don't think we can afford to. Well, maybe we do just go aggro here. I don't know. So here's the thing. If he has like a 5-mana Planeswalker, I'm going to want to have played this True Name Nemesis. Yeah. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I don't want more lands. I have drawn lands admirably well. Thank you very much, deck. I do appreciate it. We're going to play out the Tropical Island. And we're going to cast out this guy. We may be wrathing over the top of it. It'll be you. Thrun is most likely next turn. Although Thrun cannot be regenerated through the Damnation. Well, there's the Wasteland. He likely will hit. He has a 5-mana play, it looks like. Alright, now Beth. Yep. Well, that was a good draw. I can't actually develop my board, so I'm just going to kill his Elspeth. I wonder why he played that out. That was interesting to me. I think he had to blow up the treetop. Oh, Elspeth and Elspeth. She's dead. Okay. Maybe he has a sword or something. That's very viable. Okay, because Sully, a Pride Mage. And then we'll get hit for 2. Well, interestingly enough, guys, I think what the play is here is to actually board wipe him. We'll just board wipe. Obviously, we get our own true name, but we get rid of a lot of his cards too, and he's down to 2 cards in hand. Damnation on the backswing. Plus, I have a treetop for any. All right, Lingering Soul is cool, and I can actually get it back. I think here we're just going to play out the Thrun. I need to pressure him. Well, what do you have? Well, that's good. I'm going to attack him for a 4. And, I think here we actually do this again. I don't want him to get manlands. There you go. Damnation. You can recast his, I don't like doing that, but I do like getting in the free damage. And I do still have a threat. Plus, I can recurse my threats with the Volrest Stronghold. We're kind of hoping he blanks here. What have you got, man? Alright, that's coming back in. More land. Fine with me. Get back the true name. It's a sure and steady clock. I do want that. That will help win races if he starts damaging me excessively. Well, that's a manland that can attack for a significant amount. He's going to attack here, more than likely. Okay. Well, what else do you have, good sir? Okay, a Reclamation Sage for no value. Well, first and foremost, I think we are going to do this. Helps kind of abate the race. Now, I know I eschew value by not casting the Death Right, but this forces him to lead back a significant amount of blockers and or have a stellar draw like a sword of some sort. But I think we may have gotten him. I mean, he could draw. There are definitely draws here. I think a lot of it ties back to the Wasteland play, too. I don't know if I like that. I think he may have had to have gotten the Treetop Village, but I could be wrong on that. My draw was very good this game, too. I cannot say it was not. Okay, what do you have? You gonna activate? Or are you gonna kill my thing? You got 2 in the air. Yep. Well, what do you attack with? I can recurse this thing at this point. Well, it could be his play. Or he could just have, like, you know, a Path to Exile. This has been a heck of a game. Like, whoever wins this, I don't even really care if he wins. I think that'd be awesome. Like, this has been a good game, man. And I definitely appreciate the games I play with you, Dots. You're a hell of a player, man. And I'd play some stellar games with you. I actually want this thing to die, so the trick's kind of on him. I have the Volrus Stronghold. Interesting. Well, you have 1 card left. Alright, that makes sense. I will trade for your land. No? I'll trade, because I'll gain 4 life off of the Obstinate Baloth, and then I'll just likely take the time, because that'll cost a ton of mana. Actually, it'll cost all of my mana. Got him! Cool. Good games, man. I just had an awesome game with him. That was honestly, I did not expect to win this match, to be honest with you, and we somehow got it. I'm going to go on a quick pause, guys, to report. Alright, guys, we're back. ML is still going at it. And again, Dots, best games I played in a long time, man. Like, I definitely appreciated those. Those were not games. I had no clue who was winning that. I didn't think I was winning the second one. I was like, this is lost. This is a lost cause. Yeah, and I'm sorry if it seems like trolling or something. I don't know. I had a great time playing him, dude. I definitely did. I think he played well. All right, well, we have the Planeswalker deck, so ML is likely to time out. They may only be on their second game. Who knows? Sensei's on some sort of mid-range deck, which is going to actually be quite prone to the Planeswalker deck. I think I will be too. Although I do have counter magic. I don't know if Sensei does. I can only see Selesnya colors right now, but I assume this is his Eldrazi deck list, which is actually a Bant Drazi list. So it does have, I believe, some counter magic. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. I'm going to go ahead and leave it running while I go use the restroom right quick so you guys can watch. And I'll be right back, okay? Alright guys, I'm back, and yep, here's what it does. Languages all the cards. ML is favored if he can win in time. This deck is pretty cool. It is such a troll deck, though. Like, the all Planeswalker, all Wrath deck. Ugh. Although, I will say this, my Manlands may give me an edge against it. But I'm going to have to look if I'm playing against ML to get my own Planeswalkers. So I'm kind of thinking through right now, like, what my tactic has to be. I definitely don't want Damnation or Toxic Deluge. Those cards are garbage against his deck. I don't really have great answers to it, do I? In the board is what I'm thinking of right now. Yeah. I mean, maybe I need to, like, meta-specific put a Hex Mage in there, a Vampire Hex Mage. Although, the chances of ML losing on time are pretty decent. Because this deck does take a lot of effort to play correctly. Okay, and that card does absolutely nothing the turn it comes into play. It's just a card when it comes into play. It says nothing on it. What it actually does is it helps him ultimate his Planeswalkers faster whenever he casts spells, but all of his spells cost like 5-6 mana. What are we going to see here? Oh, Green Sun Zenith for Primeval Titan. Getting many Manlands, I would assume. All of the Manlands. possibly a Drazi Temple, but I don't think he's going to have a Drazi that big. I don't think he's running like an Emrakul or something like that. Yeah, just manlands. That makes sense to me. One of them does fix for his Eldrazi that are in the list. Yeah. My guess would be the Primeval Titan will die here. However, he does have a pretty sizable backswing. That's 6 damage just off manlands alone. My guess would be we see a Wrath of God effect here of some sort. This deck does take forever to win, though. Yep, there we go. So he'll proliferate his Tameo to 6, which is actually cool because now, I don't know if he's already used it or not. I think he did. I could be wrong on that. He did. So the Tameo is going to die here. Like, the Tameo will straight up die. ML is on 4 cards. Sensei could turn this around. Because blue-green is not... I mean, I guess you could have, like, Pongrify or something like that to make a 3/3 out of one of these lands. But I don't foresee him having an ability on green and blue to kill one of the lands. Like, what does it? Pongrify is about all I can think of. A Wasteland? Cool. He gets rid of his... I think I would have done that before I attacked. I mean... Given, like, what are the chances he's playing Pongrify? That card is not good. It's mono bad. So now he's short 1 mana. Although I think I may have gone... Well, I guess it doesn't matter what manas or what lands you go for here. They're all fixed by Chromatic Lantern. He does nothing. Well, that cannot be good for him. Yeah, I think this is right. I think you just continue to jam threats. Yep. Replay it out, sure. I think you just continue to jam threats and force ML to do it, or deal with them. Okay, well, he's going to attack. I don't know. I guess it's as right as it can be. I mean, you know, if he doesn't have instant speed removal, he can't get this thing. Although if he does, he's going to hammer this Mishra's Factory as fast as he can. Any opportunity he gets to kill manlands, I think he's got to take here. What are we going to see, like a Go for the Throat or something? Yeah, a Hero's a Downfall. My guess is he has Wraths available in hand. That's why I kind of think I would have rather... I guess you can't just attack for 1. He returns it. Yeah, fair point, you know, and actually I kind of did miss that, so apologies in my commentating. That's actually 100% right, because he can flip it back with Moloku, which is a pretty cool interaction. I don't know how long it will last, though. My guess would be we're going to see the board go bye-bye again. If he didn't cast a Planeswalker last turn... He's likely, yeah, has, you know, something like silly like Day of Judgment. But he's searching at this point. Gosh, Sensei is pretty low on time, too. Lightning Bolt is still a thing. Well, Jace. I don't know what you use the floating black mana for. I would think you just leave something untapped so you can make choices afterwards. I mean, it's going to die here regardless. Right? Yeah, Restoration. Yeah, this is not really going so hot for ML. Or maybe he's just trying to force more attacks at Jace so he has more time to get instant speed removal for these lands. It's very possible, too. Alright, on attack. Is it on his life total? No, he commits to Jace and then commits 4 power to life total. 4 power to life total puts him down to 8, which means that he's quite dead next turn. He could just deal with the Angel, and that means he is not quite just dead. Moat is pretty stellar. Okay, well, he has the answer, and he wins the game. The man lands are, I think, kind of what did him in. Michelle's kind of right, though. The Inexorable Tide, I'm not a fan of. Kind of, like you heard me saying, like, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it is kind of a commander card. I think it's kind of a clunker. Alrighty, well, it looks like this game has ended. And we're going to go on a pause, guys, until the next match starts for us. Alright, guys, we're live, and we're playing a game against A. Lawrence with our Bug Sultai deck. Don't know what he or she is on. This hand looks pretty good, though. We'll keep it. If they pay a fetch land, that's good for us. Cool. Oops. Nope, don't want to do that. I want to do this. The reason I did that is because of the draw I had this turn. Daze, I think, should be good here. It can stop a bolt that would kill my Deathrite, and still allow me to cast on a Scavenging Ooze next turn, which threats are not dime a dozen in this deck. They tend to be hard to come by. Alright, well, some sort of... Cool. Yeah, I'll daze you. Daze you. No more land. Interesting. Well, I don't think there is a need to show my opponent that I have another fetch land, but I'm not going to play out the Watery Grave again. I'll let them know I have that, but the fetch land is nice. It assures that... Oh my. Oh my. Well, I guess we're going to boards, guys. So we're playing against a blue deck. I think a Dispel will tend to be good. Gainsay is going to be good. Maybe Dispel? Yeah, I think Dispel will be fine. What don't I like in this matchup? Well, I haven't seen a lot of his deck. I assume he's in some sort of Delver deck list, so I'm going to cut that card. And honestly, I think... I think I'm just going to cut... Is Primeval Titan right? Thragtusk is... Well, Thragtusk is so good in control, though. Maybe Obstinate Baloth is right here. It's just kind of slow and inefficient. The life gain's probably not going to be relevant, but like I don't want to get rid of the Batterskull even though it's more mana. Thragtusk is also good too because if it dies, like I get a thing back, I gain life off of it. Batterskull is just harder than heck to kill. Yeah, I think this is right. Okay, I'm going to keep it again. Got a Fatal Push. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm going to play this out. Do you have a Mental Misstep? No. Okay. Deathrite Shaman is, I don't know. It's like easily the most busted one-drop. One of the most, well, I'm sorry, not the most busted one-drop. I mean, that's probably Ancestral Recall. I think what we're going to do here is just go for this guy. I really want to get the Thrun down and or the Leovold, but the Leovold is just going to get countered. Okay. Okay. Well, do you have an answer? No, you don't. Interesting. Okay, a Baleful, a Strix. Tend to be fine with that. Does he have mana? Oh, no. Not again, man. Not again. Alright, well, there is the land I wanted. Just play this out. We can Fatal Push at will. Oh, no. Well, alright, man. Good game, brother. Sorry, dude. I'd rather play the matches out. Yeah, no problems, man. No problems, man. I get it. You know, I always hope to play out my matches, but these have been two very stellar draws against his deck, being fair. Okay, he dropped. We could have killed this thing too and then attacked him with the Grim Flare and probably set up a not so good situation for him. So I'm going to go on a quick pause, guys, and report. And then, you know, the good thing about this is we get to catch some more matches. All right, guys, we're back at it. We're looking at what C4, R1S, and Michelle are up to. It appears that Michelle is on her red-green build again. C4, R1S is either on Abzan or Anaya or Jund. He loves all those colors. He and I were actually playing the other night. Had some good games with him. And what do we have here? Forest, yep. And what is he on? Wooded Foothills is not really an indicator. Let us see. What have he got? Okay, well, like Caracas, which is one of my favorite lands ever. Yeah, Lingering Souls, good card. Beat the crap out of us in Game 1 against Dots. It's a card that, honestly, I was re-looking my Abzan list. I totally missed. It should have been in there. Well, that makes me think she's done something else. That's an interesting card, unless she's just, like, is land short. I don't know why she would want to put cards in her graveyard. I have to have good reason to play that card, like Aristocrats, you know, specifically. Well, she has land, we know that, because she had a Sylvan Ranger. So she ended up getting, what did she get? She didn't take the Evolving Wilds. What did she end up taking from it? The Winds of Teeth. She's got 4 mana next turn. She'll attack in there, I suppose. I mean, if he wants to block, he can block and kill the card that got her a land. It's kind of irrelevant. Either way. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you toss that away, but, you know, you can do what you want with it. That's a big guy, and that is actually now a reason why not to throw the Sylvan Ranger away, because it gets thrown away very well to that card. I don't see a lot of that card. It's probably just banned for a while. It's a fine card. I don't see Abyssal Persecutor either. It's also a 6/6 flyer. Just says you can't win the game. I think it's a 6/6 flyer trample. Yeah. That's probably good. Just don't get a legendary creature. I would assume it's Primeval Titan getting some sort of land combo, and or probably land combo. Land combo? Yeah, land combo. Although, land combo is not great here unless she gets, like... Well, here's what I think she probably does. She probably gets the Wolf Run plus... I don't know. The other land I couldn't tell you, like Treetop Village, you know, or Ravaging or Raging Ravine. And then the next turn when she attacks in, she'll get the Thespian Stage Dark Depths combo, so she can trample over with her 20/20 over the flying tokens. That'd be my guess. That'd be kind of a line I would look through. I don't know her exact list, guys, so I'm speculating, but I'm pretty sure she has both those all those cards in there. Could be wrong though. I can see her going either way on... You know, actually, the Treetop Village is probably slightly better because it actually allows her to attack the turn that she turns on the Dark Depths. It turns it into Merit Lage because she'll have the additional mana. You get what I'm saying? Because the Raging Ravine is going to cost, you know, essentially 5 mana to activate. It's 4 mana to activate it, and then the land itself is taken up. So... Yeah, I think here she does go for the Wolf Run. Although, it's interesting. I mean, she could play in a way that, like, if he has Wasteland, she puts the Dark Depths combo on so that he gets that. But I don't really see how much of a benefit there is to saving. Okay, well, she gets the Wolf Run but a Wasteland. That's not bad. I get that. I think that's fine, too. Yeah, here you definitely don't want to sack your thing. That card is annoying to play with, though. Play with and play against. And it was broken for the longest time. Okay, well, he has more land. Is he Scry? Scry to the bottom, okay. My guess would be he's probably looking for gas. His deck is much more mid-range. I don't know if it runs a Titan or not. Yep, that makes sense. Spirits get in there. I don't think they'll be doing that for long, though. He is likely to recast his spirits. Here's the okay, so yeah, that's why she got the Wasteland. I'm silly. The Caracas would actually blank the Merit Lage. There's a, you know, a fine card, a Vampire Nighthawk, but she only needs to attack one time to get this working. But it looks like she's going to debate it. I think if you can get the depths with Kessig Wolfrun online with a Wasteland to back up the Merit Lage, I think you go for it. I don't know the contents of her hand either. She can cast almost anything in her deck, I would assume. I don't know if she runs an Inferno, Titan, or anything like that, but I mean, 6 cards is 6 cards. It's a lot. I doubt they're all irrelevance. Well, she's busy considering. Let's go see what else is going on. I'm kind of curious to see what Doc Pringles is on. Sensei is on his Bantrazi list, so we already saw that. Doc Pringles is on like a Naya pod deck, a mono fair Naya pod deck. It looks like just mid-range, which is interesting because normally Doc Pringles plays some crazy combo-rific stuff, which is cool. I think it's pretty cool. That said, I don't know if I like my matchup against him. I'm gonna have to hit Wraths to beat him as well. Sensei, I think, is going to be more of a controlling game. I think his curve is a little higher. Although he does have some great value cards just to eke out value in the mid-range fight. We do as well. I think we have probably more 1-for-1 stuff, though, so we'll need to counter his 2-for-1 stuff. Because he has like stuff like, the Den Protector. We have Eternal Witness, as does he. We have some Planeswalkers, probably not as many as he does. But I think in general he's probably going to have more 2-for-1 cards than we do. I don't know, though. I don't really know if the long game benefits us against Sensei either. We may want to look for like a mid-game finish, like a tempo finish, when we play him. And I'm sorry for like dialoguing some of this stuff. I generally tend to watch these and like think through like how do I beat the decks I'm seeing presented with the current strategy I have. Because I tend to think you can. Most games, well, not all games can be won. That is for sure. But many games can be maximized, or you can maximize your chances of winning. Let's try to think through that, especially when we have the time right now. Well, that thing's huge. But can you win the race is the question. Yeah, probably. Probably can. I don't really care for Terramorphic Expanse. Don't know why she runs it in there. I guess it does get a basic. Alright. Well, Sword. That's pretty bad. Probably not good. Well, do you have an answer to an artifact, Michelle? Because you're going to need it here. Taking a beating off this thing. Well, you can do a number back. I don't think you want to start trying to Dust Bowl here. You need to beat him on board. Dust Bowl is not going to... You don't have enough time to Dust Bowl here. Maybe if she can get to board parity at some point. Interesting board state. Mirror Crusader is definitely a boon to Dr. Pringles. Gaddock Teague will stop... Actually, no, Doc Pringles is probably winning this, actually. How did he get the Eternal Witness? Don't know how that happened. What's exiled? Is it bribery? How did that happen? Huh. He's at 14, though. Okay. Well, the Fauna Shaman, if he has creature cards in hand, can do some pretty busted things, because, I mean, he has 6 mana available. Okay, the board is mono huge. Deer 4. Probably sack the Morph. Although not having an answer to Duress. That could or could not be, or may not be good. Although not knowing your top cards and sacrificing that land there, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I like that, because like you can actually shuffle away cards. A Birthing Pod. Okay, well, that stinks to lose. That's a stellar card. Well, that's gone too, I suppose. Well, C4R1S may win this. We shall see. Although, Yeah, just a forest. Oh, he's got a 9/9. Yeah, makes sense. Why would you attack with the ground pounder? I think you block here. I think you definitely block here. Is this going at Garrick? No, him. And Garrick. And Garrick. You definitely block with the beast here. What's going to have? Sunlance? That's still 3 damage. I guess it could be like something like that is triggered when you block, like Immolating Glare. But like, if that's a card in his deck, your Garrick is still alive. And, yeah, no, you should block. That's a block. Almost like 100%, I think. Well, let's check the other game out. Well, Sensei is debating his options. The Fauna Shaman, I think, can shut this game down. Wow. Interesting. I guess, yeah, she didn't want to lose the beast to the Sword of Fire and Ice. I don't know. Like, that kind of seems wrong to me. The Garrick seems better to me, but I guess she just needs to out-tempo him here. How much land does she have? So it takes 3 to do this, so she has 7 on top of 3. 7 on top of 3, 10. 11. That's enough. She wins the game. She had the land. Okay, well, that's game. Yeah, she just won. So that is a 9. 9 damage plus... Yeah, she just won. I highly doubt. So that's 7. Oh, wait, she is 1 short, isn't she? So 7, 3, 10. Well, she's definitely dead to backswing. What did she get off the Sylvan Library? It'd be interesting to see. And maybe she just couldn't find it. I don't know. And what is going on over in this game? I don't know if someone lost connectivity or what. Okie doke. Oh, they're both going for critters. I think you want to let that resolve before you go for your critter, though. This will put C4R1S exactly to... Oh, 1, I believe. 3. Yeah, if she had like a lightning bolt or something, she could have done it, but yep, 1 life, and that would be, I believe, lethal, or very close to it. Yeah, because it's 3 power off of the Wildwood, 1, 2, so 5 plus 5, yeah, it's 10 damage. I'm not counting the Desecration Demon because she has to sack her beast, but yeah, that's game right there. Yep, that's unfortunate. 1 short, huh? I do kind of think she wanted the Garrick, but there's another game, so... I do not envy Dots having to play this match. ML, I love you to death. This deck is cool, but it is terrible to play against. At least it has Lingering Souls and Kitchen Finks. Cool, cool. This is a board. Don't know who won the first game. 3 and 3 cards. What did Jerez get? Sorin. Okay, makes sense. That thing makes creatures. Sim Powder's not bad. Just mono aggro Naya creatures. Well, don't want to use that thing. Alright, well, what do we have here? Snow cover forest will definitely go in the bin. I think it may be time to start attacking, though. With the Mirren Crusader. A ranker on Mirren Crusader. I think you put that on the Mirren Crusader, to be honest. But, oh, protection from green. Never mind. You cannot do that. Oh, 4 damage. Don't know if he plays the resto. Okay, well, a Venser. I guess Johnny is coming back with 3 tokens on him. He'll probably still die. I guess he has his choice of which one he'd like to kill, though. Okay. What's going on over here? This is like an interesting, grindy board stall. I do think Doc Bringles actually has the advantage here, though. What do you ditch? Green Wheel Liberator. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess it's just an efficient 4/3 if the conditions are set. Dauntless Escort. That card is pretty good against us, actually. Although we'll have one card that's really good against the Toxic Deluge. Still gets everything. 4 damage. Yep. I think relatively soon here he probably wants to start looking at throwing in that Mirren Crusader just to get the clock going a little faster. But because I think right now he's giving him a bit of time to draw out of it. Although I don't think like Bribery would be a good turnaround card. I believe he tends to run those cards, kind of cards main. Yeah, there's Thought Not Seer. That card is a beating. But here, what does it do? It can't really attack in. It could very well block the Mirren Crusader, so an opportunity may well have been lost here. Although it could attack in and then sacrifices Dauntless Escort, I believe is what it's called. The 3/3 that he just played. To have the Mirren Crusader exchange with the Thought Not Seer, drawing an additional card. But I don't know if we'll see that or not. I guess it'd be he's just going to continue to beat in with the flyer. Yeah, Path to Exile. Will he find? I would assume he'll fail to find. But who knows? Well, that being the case, what did he exile with it? A Burst Lightning? Okay, makes sense. I think he does start getting in there, though, at this point with the Crusader. I don't think there's any reason. Reclamation Sage. Yeah, probably has to let him have it at this point. I'm going to search for something else. For something that pumps the Mirren Crusader, that'd probably be good here. Alright, and what's going on in this other matchup? Well, wow. It looks like the Planeswalker deck has been out Planeswalkered. Oh, we got him with a hymn, too. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I don't see ML coming back from this. I think this is probably a done deal. Yeah, that lethal? That's close. Well, you need like, I guess, what is that white card that like destroys all the planeswalkers and creatures? That card could do it. That would be huge. He may even have it in there. Who knows? Dak? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, well he's looking for a Wrath effect so he can stay alive for another turn. Over here in this front. Oh, good games. All right, Dots won the match. Okie doke. Alright, a Wicker Boa Elder. Fine card. I think, yeah, that makes sense to me. That's a win if he doesn't have like something to bounce it. Yeah, okay. He stays alive by one life point. Oh wait, no, he doesn't. This thing's a 4-1 essentially because of Silverblade Paladin. He could have removal though. All right, Doc Pringles gets the Sensei. Very aggro deck. Okay. Probably blow up one of the elves, my guess would be, although Flame Tongue Kavu is not so hot against Doran. So yeah, it looks like he did opt to go with Abzan. We were on Abzan last week. Very strong color combination. A lot of great cards in Abzan. I'm a huge fan. Hey guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this running. And I'm actually going to go grab some coffee. I'll probably be back in like 10 minutes. If you guys want to keep on watching, keep on watching. But I'm not going to pause it because, I like to keep the games or keep records historically of the games. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to try to... this is going to work, is it? Well, here's the deal. You're going to get this game. This is the game you're going to watch. The one between Sensei and Doc Pringles will be a surprise to us because I think we're playing whoever wins that one. Or this one, actually. Well, we'll see if we have finals or not. But I'm going to leave it on, and I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Bye. Well, guys, I'm back. It appears Michelle has won the second game. And let's go see how these two gentlemen are doing. Well, 9 to 19. I don't know. This could really go either way. It just depends on what Dr. Pringle's told. If he's letting burn, he could burn him out. That could happen. If the game goes for more than another turn, though, interesting. So he wants to get the 3 in, and I assume he has the burn in hand. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like I said, there are definitely. I don't think he was. I didn't think he was out of it just seeing the Titan in play. Although, since he doesn't have to find an answer to. All right, well, that's strong because it means he can find an answer on this much mana to the Boros Reckoner because it cannot really be combat. Removing that via combat, you have to do very early, and generally with a creature on parity with it. And even then, it's hard not to allow your opponent to get a Char or a Lightning Bolt out of the exchange. Can he find a 1-mana removal? Because I assume that's the type he has. Or he could bounce it, I suppose, with Jace. He's on 3. He needs to gain some life here. Thragtusk also would not be horrendous. Okay, that's actually a very good answer. He has to keep it alive, though. He also wants to remove the Treetop Village. If he has Counter Magic, we're not likely to see him activate the Treetop. Alright, he probably does not, unless he has a mana leak. So he's getting in there for 4. He's going to try to out-tempo him here, but does he have a Bolt? If he has a Bolt, well, yuck. You got the Bolt. He may. 3 is dubious, obviously. And Bolt, Char, whatever. And if we were to be selfish, we're definitely rooting for Sensei a little bit because I would rather pay Sensei's deck than Doc Pringle's deck. I think I have a better match against it. Counter Magic tends not to be great when it's just countering spells that are of the same mana that they are. It's just 1-for-1 exchange of mana, essentially, to buy time. I don't per se think my threats are better. Okay. Well, interesting. How does this work again? It's whenever it's dealt damage. Ha! I think actually there what you want to do is actually... Is he targeting this? Okay, he's targeting the creature itself. Which makes sense. That's a heck of a card to have in hand, though. I thought the game was actually over. Well, Sensei pulling one out. I mean, we definitely pulled one out against Choke, too. We were choked down under half our mana and got wastelanded. And managed to mise off of a Timely Ponder, much like himself, into... I forget what it was. It was like Snapcaster into the Nick Fit card. I can never remember the name of it. Pernicious Deed. Well, can you do it here? Nope. Okay, well, he got a 2-for-1 out of that, which is pretty stellar for him. I think... I don't know. Still can't call it. He could just have, a Lightning Bolt. If he did, I don't think it would have taken this long. I think he would have just been yep, okay, and then he would have slammed it immediately following. He appears to have a creature card. Okay, well, it is a 4-3. It is indeed a 4-3. Does not have trample, however. Don't think he wants to pay the life for that. Well, no attacks. Although time, I don't think is on your side here. I haven't seen the deck either. I mean, I see Incinerate and Bloodbraid Elf and Flame Slash. Flame Slash, though, is interesting to me. I don't really care for the card in a deck like this. I think you want Flame Slash in more of a controlling build. It could be a board card. But even then, what at 4 are you getting? Spellskite? I don't know. I mean, I've even seen it die in boards in Modern because of Siege Rhino, because Siege Rhino is just too big for it to kill. Okay, nothing. We could attack and just trade his threat for the Treetop Village. Or it could just be the Dried Arbor and the Tide Binder, rather. No, it appears it will be the Treetop of Village. Well, how does Sensei win this? Moloku would be a start. Wow, of note, Sensei is down to 81 cards and his opponent's at 87. Being fair, he has used 2 fetch lands, though. Ponder. How did he get down that far on cards? That's pretty amazing when you look at it. What's exiled? Primeval Titan? Oh, Primeval Titan was cast, that's why. Never mind, I'm being goofy. Yeah, I forgot the Prime Time was in play. Yeah. Seems good. Although, he could very well have a counterspell to this. Why would he fight those 2 as opposed to killing another creature? I guess he wants to keep this one. But this creature doesn't seem like it's a singular threat. I feel like Sensei can bounce it with like a Jace or something, or like he has Mana War in his deck. You know. What are we going to see here? Could be an Eldrazi. Actually, here, if he had more fetch lands, although the difference between 2 and 3 is not huge, but I mean, like, you'd feel sick to your stomach if you fetched, and there she is. You'd be pretty sick if you fetched with it, and he's going to block with his Dried Arbor and flip it back to hand. If you fetched and then got shocked in the face, you know, that'd be pretty horrendous. Curd Ape, irrelevant. Not good here. Good attack. Not really a huge point to it, though. His play is pretty apparent, unless you have removal. And then, well, even then, he's got 2 mana up. Well, I guess he has the availability of, like, the other 2 fetch lands as well. Although, the one interesting thing is, if he does have burn, he could force... Alright, he's not going to burn it in response. Or does that not even do it in response? No, it should have a trigger, I think. No, it's just return a land, so there is no trigger, yeah. Interesting. Okay. Oh, there's the Arbor again. Start getting in there. That's right. Start plinking away. And next turn, this is actually very, very close to lethal. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Yeah, it is. That's another irrelevant. Yeah, you probably would want to memory lapse that, yeah. Although, do you really? I guess you know he doesn't have burn. So, like, the last card, is it really that relevant? Probably not. You obviously block these. Yep. Probably with the Ground Pounders. Yep, that makes sense. You want the Flyers. Alright, he wants to trade for the Curd Ape. Interesting. I think I may go for the kill if I were him. Because I think he has it. Yeah, flip that. That makes sense. Do you go ham? I think... Well, I guess he does not think he goes ham. I don't think I mind going ham there, though. And just making all of them. But he does know his opponent's top draw, so what's the rush, right? Yeah, fair. There is no rush here. The Jace? No, it's a Thought-Knot Seer getting whatever is left in his hand. The Parallax a Wave. He couldn't cast it. Okay, he needed the other drop to cast it. Well, he knows with exactitude. Okay, Sensei wins. So it appears they are going... That's the game 2? Wow. These must have been some great games. Let's check out how things are faring over here. I think they are 1-1 as well. I like Michelle's position. I don't think he can cast his spells very easily. No black mana, only green and white, plus a birthing pod. Yeah. Michelle, I think, has got this one. I think she's got C4 1RS, or R1S, with a Blood Moon and birthing pod. I think he may have been being facetious, Michelle. Playing against Blood Moon is quite miserable, but I don't blame you whatsoever. I think Blood Moon is a completely fair card, and I think it is a card that players need to prepare for. And if they're not, well, sometimes you're going to lose games to it, you know. Of note, the deck I'm currently playing, would probably lose to Resolve Moon. Although I do have ounce to it. Much like you saw like the choke, which was like half my mana base just gone. Which is not quite as bad as a Moon effect. Yeah, it's pretty close to lethal right there, is it not? Believe so. Obviously does not want to block. I think you attack with the Courser too, though. My curiosity is this. Why does she not use the pod? What gets her here? I guess a Containment Priest you could play around. And it's just taking it. I think you want the Fiery Confluence means you win next turn, does it not? I guess she does not want it. But that goes to a 5-drop? Or does that go to a 1-drop? That goes to a 5-drop, that's right. Yeah, it's a flipped card. It still counts the same mana cost. Stormbreath Dragon, which will become very big next turn. Alright, well this game is kind of over. Let's go check out what happens here. Okie doke. Game over. Okay, well we have a Gaddock Ateeg and a Treetop Village getting in there. Taking it. Well, we'll see. Really depends, I think, on what Sensei can do this turn. If he can drop a significant threat this turn, then I think he's in good shape. If he cannot, well, I think he is in much worse shape. Okay, well, that is a Planeswalker. Albeit, it's going to go down to 1. I wonder if he has a way to... I guess what he's banking on is his opponent either playing a land or having not to play a land. Yeah, so this will cost him a land drop if he does not do it, because of the Tech Edge. So he attacks with likely both here, I would assume. I would assume the Gaddock gets in there too. I mean, why not? That's what's going to get blocked. Might as well not let the Sensei have a free plant for nothing. And then, yeah, the Nissa goes to 1. Makes sense. Does he miss his land drop, though? He very well may. No, he does not. But he has an additional man land that actually fixes for his red mana requirements. So what does he need here? So he could just get rid of the treetop. And, you know, I think you probably do that. Okay, yep. Put a thing into play. Or he may just have a bigger card. I guess, you know, this is the right place. You wait and see what he does, but I mean, I think that would be poor play on his part if he activated the Raging Ravine. If he had the other land and could activate the Raging Ravine, that would be poor play. Probably gets in there with both, my guess would be. Although Sensei's mana is quite... he has a lot of it at the moment. Definitely some grindy games this week. Given I have not seen the aggro decks playing, I assume there's a couple white weenie decks, although I did not see what Rob Zadar was on. I assume, I don't know who he was playing either. I don't know what his record is right now. I assume Rob is likely on white weenie, because his matches have ended rapidly. Although he could be on something else entirely. Well, we are part of the minority that is playing blue right now. Who is playing blue? Just me? Well, no. A. Lawrence is playing blue, too. Alright, there's a manland. Okie doke. Need to find an answer to that thing. Right quick and in a hurry. That card is very problematic. Although he's kind of generated this like sub game where like it's like, hey, attack Nissa, which is buying him a ton of time. And I'm sorry, Doc Pringles really isn't doing all that much. There's another free blocker. Get to more mana. He's got one more card in hand. He can even attack here. It's pretty cool. He gets in for 2. Blinks away. Oh, he Mole Drifted. Okay. That would account for the additional cards. And he's slightly up on time, which is to his benefit. Although I don't think this game will come to time. I think one of the 2 players will win before the time expires. Could be like a dragon. No, he's just going to fire it up. Get this thing mono huge. I don't know if it's likely to win him the game here or not. Yeah, you just block. Block. And fetch. Yeah, actually, this week's games have been really cool. Um, and I was thinking, looking through who the audience was this week, I didn't think we'd have a ton of aggro decks. Thought it'd be a lot of mid-range and/or control. Um, and so far, it seems to have been, which mid-range games tend to be, in my opinion, for viewing, mid-range games tend to be the best to watch because they're very grindy. They're fairly decision intensive, whereas I think you tend to see lopsided matchups with aggro decks and with control decks. Well, he's definitely got a ton of critters. He may even double block. All right, Path to Exile. Well, that old boy is gone. Heck, this may come to time. I don't know. The question is, does he block the hilarious? He had like a bounce spell, like bloop. I don't think he would. I don't think 1-mana bounce spells are that great in this format. I have played, although I will say I played Chain of Vapor before in a Storm deck, but that was more so just to take care of extremely problematic permanents that would disallow me from winning, and or Crew Storm count. Chain of Vapor tends to do that. All right, we got a 6/6, a Raging Ravine. I think he probably trades here with the Gadok and no, maybe he doesn't. Yeah, he does. Okay. Excuse me, guys. I hope you didn't hear that. I tried to cover up the mic. Had to sneeze. Okay, a Dryad Arbor of his own. Well, Sensei's mana is perfect, so whatever he has in hand, he can cast here. What is it he has in hand? Who knows? I have no clue, to be honest with you. Well, evidently counter magic? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I know what Doc Pringles is doing with his mana, but I have absolutely no clue what Sensei's up to with his. Alright, well, there's a Reclamation Sage that comes in, kills the land, I guess. Gets one of his green mana, but he has infinite green mana. My assumption would be here he's going to exclude. Okay, that makes sense. So once you get after further cards, try to find more win cons. That makes some sense. If it's a re-mana, it's kind of rough. What's that going at? The Nissa? I think you still block. Yeah, why not? Might as well ultimate the Nissa, force him to have an answer to it. Gain X life and draw X cards. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I didn't even know what that card's ultimate was. It's pretty darn good. It's good in like a heavy creature deck. Do you have another threat? Good sir. Wouldn't be shocked if he has more counter magic. Like a remand or something? Oh, days. For perfects. That's the worst. That is the worst. That's one rationalization for casting it out before you attack as well. And who knows what else he has in hand. I mean, obviously he's up on cards to a significant extent. I think has this game well in hand here. But I think, yeah, if you could resolve a Garrett could turn things. That's for sure. Especially if you desire to continue to attack with the Raging Ravines. It's so mana intensive just to kill a token every time. But if you have nothing else going on, I suppose you just do it. Okie doke. Well, a wild Nactyl, or Ornacotl, as it probably should be enunciated. More counter magic, it appears. Yeah, that's a good one. Flips it back to hand with no counters on it. Rough. Flash freeze? Okay. Yeah, counter heavy hand. The moon would get me pretty good if it ever resolves. there's old steadfast and loyal Maloku. Yet again. He plays that card a lot. I don't know what I think of it. Like, I haven't been sold on it. Don't get me wrong, it's a fine card, and it's not good with a Caracas in play, although it can still make some stuff. But I just feel like for 5 mana, it's aged quite a bit. I feel like you can do a lot better with 5 mana nowadays. But it's still blue, but it's very easy to cast as well. That is kind of the plus side to Meloku. She's very easy to put into play, as long as you have the appropriate mana. A Loam Lion. Well, he is fortunate to have Caracas. However, Meloku with Anissa is quite strong. Can make like a bazillion 2/2s that fly. That may be what we're seeing here. He may just eschew the ultimate on the... I'm shocked he didn't make more. Yep, there's a mono huge critter. There you go. Okay, I was going to say, he must have forgotten to use his Nissa. There he goes. That's not true. I don't want to have to try to do that again. I did not think I was winning that game. I was actually like 95% sure I was losing it. And probably should have by all reasonable counts. But Ponder is a heck of a card. It found me some very good cards on my top and allowed me to... How did that work out again? It was like Snapcaster... I have to go relook at it. It was like Snapcaster... No, maybe it was like Go for the Throat. Like Go for the Throat into... I couldn't... I only had 1 mana left. Yeah, so I pondered, had Go for the Throat into Pernicious Deed, into Green Sun Zenith the following turn for Primeval Titan getting 2 mana lands. Oh, so silly. Oh, yeah, it would be. We've actually had some good games. Oops. Alrighty, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Kind of what we saw coming there. Didn't see what he used to do it, but I think Sensei had that in the bag for a while. Alrighty, well, we're going to go on a break, guys, and I'm going to use the restroom, and then we'll get into match 3. Well, guys, Loman02, it looks like I am not playing the Sensei. It looks like I'm going to be playing Michelle here. So let's not get Blood Moon down, although we do have a lot of ways actually in hand to interact with Blood Moon, and I think our first turn play, unless we draw a Mana Dork, is going to be Thoughtseize. We do have a Leovold, which is a good one, although I think her stuff is going to tend to be better. This is a good hand, though. Okie doke. Here, go at it, F6. And hopefully if she has a Mana Dork, it's a 2-drop Mana Dork, and we can get it. If it is a turn 1, that's turn 1 nothing, evidently. Does she have a ton of land in hand? I wonder why she... interesting. Well, this makes me lament having a Bayou, but we're going to go ahead and get her hand. Alright, well, she does have the Blood Moon, which is fine by me, to be honest. Go ahead. Don't really care about that. Can negate it. That does tell me why. Now she has to know that I have counter magic in hand, and she'll have to protect it. Well, nothing. She may just try to cast it anyways. And if she does, I will most certainly negate it. The one thing that is problematic with this... Well, there we go. We just kind of need to hit lands, because I do need to play a threat out and start threatening her. She doesn't really have anything in hand. Although maybe it would have been proper here to cast out... Yeah, if she has a threat now, it's going to be bad. I probably should have just played out the Polluted Delta so I could leave Counterspell up to hit any spell. Well, what do you have? Moon? Well, that's pretty cool, but I think I'm going to say no to that. No thank you, ma'am. Put the Leovold in play. And we're kind of hoping here to save Green Sun Zenith for something more powerful. She has a ton of mana. I do need a threat down, though. Well, that's a huge threat. It's a beating. She could blow up my thing, which tends not to be good, but I can also kill it on the next turn. She's down to 2 cards. She kill my thing, I get a card out of it. So, like, I think she's probably going to be tempted to 4 damage to this thing. It goes down to 1. And then I kill it. Yep. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play this land out because we cannot cast a counterspell and activate this thing, and there's no way in heck I'm letting that thing stay on the board and hope she did not mise, like, okay, that's fine. That's mono fine. Alright, don't have something huge, Michelle. I don't think she does. Okay, Vilrath's Stronghold, and here I think what we do is, yeah, we can leave up Counter Magic plus activate the Vilrath Stronghold. Sounds good. So let's go ahead and check out what's on our top deck. I think I'm going to bottom this, but top this card. Yeah, I think that seems good here. And then, I don't really want to have to counter this next turn, so I'm hoping she doesn't mise. Although I could also just go for the throat now, unless it's like a Primeval Titan. Primeval Titan just needs to be countered. She has mana to cast anything in her deck, but she obviously kept a hand based around the power of Blood Moon. And I need to life her relatively quickly. Is this a Primeval Titan? No, it's just that thing. And you know what? I'm actually okay with that. So what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to kill this thing. I don't want her to get more cards off of it. That's why we kept this card, because I did want to get back my Leovold, because I am very threat light. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you don't have any other creature cards, so it does nothing. You're not going to manifest here. Does not work quite like that. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to get Leovold back here. Now, obviously, we do need to hit lands. So let's go a blue, a black, and a green. Now, if we do get Wastelanded, that could be a beating here. And we still leave up mana, so if she uses like a damage-based removal on this thing, we can get it back at end step if we don't have to counter something else. She's on 0 cards. So I wouldn't be surprised if she fetches here, because it's not like land draw. It's not like her deck runs Brainstorm. Now, what do we have here? Do I say okay to this? I think I actually do. I think I say okay to this, because I'm still going to draw my card. So, like, I'm really not going down on card advantage here, because she's going to target it still. And it can actually block and kill the Flame Tongue. So, like, this is fine. Like, I get my card still, even though I'm going to, lose my card for the turn based on using the Volrath Stronghold. Yeah. Well, that's a fine one. And let's just start grinding out value. I do want that last land so I can go Primeval Titan, although I will assume risk that turn. And I will block here. I mean, it's fine, right? Like, what do I lose? I will 100% block this. Or will I? Yeah, I will. I'll block her. That card does not worry me. Although, of note... Maybe I do draw for my turn here. She has a forest in hand. Play it out if you'd like. Yep, okay. If she ever does... Well, here's what we do. We are... Oh, we can't do that, can we? I think we do play this out. And I do not intend on using it to kill that thing. This is non-land, or is this each artifact creature? Okay, so that can get man lands too. I will take the one all day. And I think I still... Alright, well, that's not great. But I can cycle it at least. I do need to hit my land here. Maybe I should just be flipping this Leovold back to hand so I can go aggro. Yeah. I was kind of hoping that in the first couple cards I drew here I could get one, but I guess not. Okie doke. Take the one. And at this point... Oops. At this point, I will do this. I think, if Moto doesn't freeze up on me. And actually, here at the end step, I am going to cycle this off too, and just draw into it. Because I would like to still hit a land here. Cool. Well, there is the land we wanted. And it may be right just to get a forest, but I think with the Blood Moon out of the way, I'm okay with this. Do I just go for it here? I think I need to be patient. So, I'm going to play on a Thrun and tell my opponent to go. Could just slam it, but if she has like a natural order and she's trying to play around counter magic and I just get had by her Primeval Titan, her lands are better than mine. Well, I should say this. Her Kessig Wolf Run is better than my lands. That makes that 1/1 a good card. Well, that is a strong one, as they say. And actually, because of that... And I will definitely pitch Leovold if I have to. I won't play him out here. Because of that, I am going to go for... okay. I am going to go for the prime time now. That was a solid draw. And honestly, even if she does cast something that's like small, I have the Pern Deed to kind of work my way around her smaller cards to include her man lands. So, Primeval Titan, please. Yes, please. And I will get all of the man lands, I believe. So, a Treetop Village. And I believe we'll get a Lumbering Falls as well. Okay, that also fixes our green mana. Okay, a Scavenging Ooze. Does that card concern me? No, and not really whatsoever. It can get pretty big, but I can just Abrupt Decay it. She'll gain a bunch of life, but like I don't see it as being relevant here because I can Abrupt Decay it. Which I most certainly will do, because it's going to get big enough that it can actually block the... we've killed enough for stuff that's going to be able to block the prime time here. But it's not something I would care to Force of Will. It's not worth 2 for winning myself right now, because it can't attack this turn, it can't kill me this turn, and like it doesn't fundamentally do anything that's going to break my game plan. And it's still only a 2-mana card, so, you know, at the end of the day, Abrupt Decay, busted card. Okay, a Misty Rainforest, and what we will do here is I will Abrupt Decay this card. Of note, I could also just Pernicious Deed it as well, but I want to save that, I think. Here, I think we just do this. And I think I'm going to wait on activating the Creeping Tar Pit until next turn. I don't see why I should leave or drop my double counter magic. And actually I can hard cast Force here. So what do we get? I think we get the Wasteland to take care of any pesky man lands. And we likely get the Fairy Conclave. Just more man lands. And I think we should have a win next turn. Probably wondering why I haven't cast our Leovold. Maybe not. Maybe she just knows we have counter magic in hand. Okay. Well. And I guess we just win. So I'm going to activate this. I'm going to activate this as well. I guess I can just activate all of them. And, yeah, we'll just get a forest. Oh, Primeval Titan. I can't believe I doubted playing this card in this deck. I'm glad I put it in. I just want to be more of a tempo-based deck. Obviously, there's no combos with it. I'll do this one and this one. Just to get better top decks, I guess. We can do better than that. Can't do much better than that. We're going to put that on top. If somehow she miraculously manages to stop all this. Alright, well, looks like we got her. So we'll go to the sideboarding plan. She's on a red-green moon. So I do think Deathmark is going to be fine in this matchup. I also think Bribery is probably pretty good here. I think it's probably better than Batterskull, because I can just get the opposing Titan out of her deck. Dispel, no. Flash Freeze, I think I am interested in running because it can get, like, any of her green cards. I do think I want the Sweepers. Maybe not the Damnation, though, interestingly enough. Well, what do we think of Counter Squall? I think I cut Counter Squall here. I do like the Maelstrom Pulse, just an answer to anything. Vendilion Click I think I like too, because she does have some, like, one knockout punch cards, like, you know, the Blood Moon. Which was the basis for keeping that hand, I would assume. Bitter Blossom seems good. I think Damnation's fine. Although I don't know. She looks like she runs a lot of walkers, too. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to go Point Removal, I think. We'll leave the one Toxic Deluge in, but I think I'm going to go Point Removal. And I'm debating on Disfigure right now, and I don't think I'm going to run it. But this is what we're going to do. I think we go this way with it. And we'll submit it. Bribery, I think, will be fine, though. I think that will be an okay card if I do get it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is a slow hand, but it has a lot of no in it. And it does have a Spell Snare on the draw, which tends to be pretty decent. It will mean that I have to play out my Breeding Pool untapped, in case I want to get anything. Well, that's also strong. I'm going to play this out untapped, yep. And I hope not to draw lands this game. I have more than enough. Well, she's got to kind of have her ear to the ground and know what's going on here, I think. Nope, nothing. Interesting. Oh, good draw there. And we'll play out the manland. I think I am going to take 2 more next turn if I don't have to do something this turn. Because I think the fetch land is going to be very good with the courser. It'll allow me to kind of, clean up my top deck if it's not any good. All right, well, there's the Wolf Run, which is a problematic card, obviously, for us. And what do we have? A Nissa. What do I think about this? I think, honestly, I just do this. All right, I'm going to change my mind. I drew this one, so I just want to... I think what I want to do here is play around getting mised by Blood Moon. Well, I have an island on top, so things are looking like they're coming up Millhouse. If I get mooned here, I don't have the swamp I'm going to need, which would be problematic. We can pulse whatever this is, I think. It does stink, however, to be drawing land off the top. Okay, a Wood Elves, likely getting a Taiga. Okie doke. And a Warped Landscape. Well... I think we just start getting after her life total. If she wants to use her mana to fire up that Wood Elves, I think that's okay with us. No, she's not going to block. The question becomes, does she have the Primeval Titan? I don't know the answer to that right now. But it is very mana intensive to operate the Kessig Wolf Run. So we shall see. She could just go all in on this threat. Okay, well that's pretty strong. That's going to hurt. But, and I couldn't have blocked, I guess I could have blocked it with my Fairy. But I can get that with Pernicious Deed and or Maelstrom Pulse. Don't like it. What do I ditch here? Probably of all things, this. Well, what have you got? Is it a moon? A moon of the blood? Okay. Well, we got to drop the Dismember, and we will get our swamp. And another island. Can't block, so get in there. And I will likely blow this silly thing up. Okay, a Garruk. Well, what have you got? I kind of hope she board dumps, because I believe... Yeah, we should be able to answer Garruk. I just hope she plays board cards at this point. That is the best for us. Each artifact, creature, enchantment with converted. Okay, so I cannot get the Garuk, which is not good for us. Okay, burning a wish. For what? Pourquoi? For a sorcery. I guess she could have like a naturalize or a nature's claim in the board. But we can actually still answer this. A hull breach. Okay, well, she can actually get one of these two. I would assume she's going to get the pernicious deed. But I can get it back. And what she does not know is that I do have availability of... so here's what I'm hoping for. Take the Eternal Witness, draw blue-producing land off the top, destroy the Blood Moon, activate Fairy Conclave, and get in there for 2. Seems like the best to me. That's optimal. Well, we don't get optimal. But what we can do here is this. We can just... Then I'm going to lose the Witness, though, right? Well, it doesn't seem great. The sword into the moon, into the Garrick has been pretty rough. I think we played as good as we can here. Maybe I missed something. But yeah, we're going to lose our Eternal Witness. You can throw your wolf in front of it if you'd like. Us losing the Pernicious Deed was quite rough. Okay, he'll make little Death Touchers now. Yeah, I don't like where we're sitting, guys. The Keswick Wolf run is back online. Yeah, her having the hull breach in the board, which is interesting because I do think that's a main deckable card against my... maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. What wins us here? What gets this for us here? If she like... We can kill the Garrick. That's right. So... We're going to get hit. I mean, this Eternal Witness is just gone. She'll pump this thing to the stars. What do we need here? Yeah, that's gone. Gone away forever. She'll get us this game, I think. Let's see what we mize. I'm not going to quit yet because we do have ounce to this. Okay, well, she actually is searching for her Primeval Titan, I would assume. Losing the creature, which this actually sets up better things for us. So she's getting Prime Time. What does Prime Time get, though? Just like a Wasteland? Yeah, okay. Okie doke. That should be good enough, but we'll see here. Of note, though, we did get through a lot of her cards. I think we played this as well as we could. And got through a lot of her hatred. Getting rid of a moon was strong. Although, what we could debate was, should we have countered the Nissa with the Force of Will? That's the play that I have to go back to and kind of review. I don't know. That may have been wrong, guys. I'm not sure, though. Well, it's going to take something special off the top ropes. Okay. Well, I do not want the duress, so I need to look. Put on bottom. Put on bottom. Well, there is a start. More land. I think I need to draw some of these here. Probably wants to wasteland my fairy conclave. That would be my guess. Yep. Alright. Are you going to fire it up? Nope. Alright, we don't get lucky. Alrighty. Oh, well, if you have that, then you just win. I'll just concede to that. But you know what? That was a stellar draw on her part, and sometimes you get had. So, what do we think here? Actually, we probably should have brought in some of these, like, these cards. I don't know. Some of them just seem so unstellar. Like the Blue Elemental Blast and the Flash Floods and stuff like that. Yuck. I don't know. Damnation is feeling a little better, though. Now, I'm just going to jam it. I think we boarded correctly. I don't think we definitely don't want the Flash Flood. The Hydro Blast and the Blue Elemental Blast could be correct. But I think with point removal, I'm going to be doing well enough against her. She's very land heavy. And I want a lot of counter spells. I don't think the Damnation's good enough because she has a lot of Planeswalkers. I don't know. We'll see here. We shall see here. But at this point, our our kill count on moons is 2. So I'm going to say, however this ends up, at least we have a moral victory. And we even got a choke to boot, so. Playing against all the land hate today. Huh. Yeah, maybe Misstep is just bad. I mean, I'm sure she plays some Mana Dorks. Maybe not, though. Deathmark is great. I think Duress is just fine. Fatal Push is more questionable. I think Ghastly Demise is great. Inquisition is in between. So-so. Thoughtseize is good in this matchup. You know, gets moon effects out of hand. You know, gets other random stuff. Well, we'll see. Hopefully we draw some decent early. We have a decent interactive hand. Well, this deck's all about interaction, but hopefully we have some decent early interaction, and then we're able to get into one of our delve threats early. That should be pretty good as long as we can back it up with good counter spells and removal. Either like a Vendilion Click or a True Name Nemesis. Although she can beat that card. She was saying she could not. We're chatting away. Yes, keep. On the play? Of course. Every time. I do think... We'll lead off with this. Yeah, we'll top it. Just to play around Wasteland, I need to have another black mana to get the Okie doke. Oops. Well, does she go for the trifecta and have moon every game? We shall see. Well, didn't really want that. Maybe I should have bottomed it. Yeah, if she gets a moon down early, I am in trouble. Well, and actually this was questionable. Oh, we got an Inferno Titan out of her hand. Do you have moon? That would be horrific for us. Oh. Oh, goodness. Oops. I think I need to continue to plus this up. Wow. She must have the moon in hand, guys. And I hope she does not mise here and get us. Looks like she may. Yeah, she has it. Oh, Magus. Okay, well, that's not staying in play. Not staying in play whatsoever. That can go bye-bye. Do need to get a threat down, though. Oh, birthing pod. This is getting countered for sure. That's a green or white creature. That's actually the same problem, Michelle. Counter target spell, draw card. Same problem I have with you, Moon. It's really bad. When it's bad, it's bad. Well, that's a great card, but I think I need to continue to ratchet this thing up. And because... I'm going to ditch the prime time here. But I think I have to keep on ratcheting Lily up, and I'm not very close to casting prime time. And if I ever get to a point where I can just like make her divide her, you know, crappy pile of lands into, it's better. It is certainly better, Michelle. I do not recommend that you remove your Kessig Wolf run. That card is very strong. Okay, well, she's hit on lands now. Although, I suppose it could be a moon, which would be rough. How many moons do we have to fight through is the question. All right, 3 visits. Well, she's going up on mana, which I do not like to see. Well, I'm getting very close to a Titan range. I'm hoping I can just, like, kill a creature this turn. Okay, you get my 1/1. I'm fine with that. Mono fine with that. Okay, we will play this out. I think here I want to keep these cards in my hand. I'm going to have her sacrifice a creature and start plinking. Okay. Well, if I hit a land, I just leave up the Snap Castorino. Although I've not hit any efficient counter spells. You have another threat. A Farhaven Elf. Okay, well, you have infinite lands. When does this thing come off? This turn? Yes, it does. Cool. Well then, I think here we have her discard her last card. I will discard one of these lands. Okay. What was her last card? Oh, Defense of the Heart. Well, that wouldn't have been great here, but it is a strong card. I'm going to swing in here. And when she goes to think what the play is this. When she goes, because this can get... I'm going to take 2 damage off this land, but when she goes to swing in, when she pumps with Kessig Wolf Run, I can bounce. Or I could just tap them all, right? Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I do. I think I just tap them all and draw a card. And I can attack for actually lethal next turn? Yeah, I got lethal. So, Tropical Island. Yeah, I got lethal right here. So, Snapcaster Reno, tap your team, and then fire up my man land. That should be the game. Alright, and I will tap all of your creature cards, please. And I will attack in for lethal. Okay, well, F6. And I mean, I guess we can play this land out. No harm in that. Blue, and then this thing. And then lethal. Alrighty, well, cool. Good games. Good games, Michelle. Alrighty, so we're going to see who's still playing. I guess we were the last ones to complete, so I'm going to go on to pause and report results. Well, hey guys, Loman02. We actually ended up winning this tournament. If I sound a little shocked, because I am, I've been playing this deck for a while. I just haven't had good fortune with it. I did well this tournament. I did a couple of main deck changes. I think I have done a very brief deck tech on this deck. I wasn't planning on doing one because I didn't expect it to go very far, and I didn't want people to emulate a deck that I didn't think was that great. And there probably still are some suboptimals in it that I just haven't found yet. One of them being Damnation. I don't often find that I want that card. One that player Sung actually recommended me today, and it totally, just slipped my mind. It should have been in the deck the whole time. Is Mystic Confluence. I took out a main deck. Well, now it's not in the main or the sideboard. Murderous Cut, which I think is right. Mystic Confluence is just a powerful card. We only drew it once when we were already losing, and it didn't really do much for us. It just got Red Elemental blasted. But the deck itself did very well for me today, and I was actually pretty proud of it because, like I said, I have not had a great track record with it. And I hope if you're watching this on YouTube, you get to see me navigate my way like a doofus through trying to beat 2 Blood Moons in a choke, which were, it was pretty epically fun. I had fun. A lot of fun this time, guys, and I hope, if you're a player that currently plays in the 100-card singleton match or matches, you have fun as well, watching it and or playing in the CSM. So I'll go a quick insert for the Chainsaw Massacre, which is a 100-card singleton event, which is a non-supported format on MTGO through Filter. However, a small community of players, all good people, currently play this format every Saturday at 1:30 or 13:30 Eastern Standard Time in the continental United States. And we play it every Saturday, and it's generally a smaller player pool. I think last week was 7. The biggest I've seen was a Christmas extravaganza, and that was like 15 to 20. But normally it's around 10. This week was 10, and very fun event, very fun format. It's a lot like cubing in my experience, and or like a draft deck, but with very powerful cards. So it plays more like a legacy cube. I would call this like legacy cube, but with like more variance involved. But it's a builder's format, in my opinion. So if you enjoy, tooling around, tinkering around with decks, and then playing them. I think we have a pretty great set of players. I think pretty technically sound players, and a very, very challenging format. I think one of my favorites, all-time favorites, just because of the variance in games and like the decisions that are involved in it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video series, and I'm going to cut it off here. Thanks again for watching.